Hello, Dave here with emergencyprepguy.com. I appreciate you stopping by. Apologize for the noise in here. I'm standing inside my geothermal greenhouse that I built last fall. I got both the doors open and it's really windy outside, so you probably will hear the, if you can't already, the wind flapping on the roof and the sides of the greenhouse. I apologize for that if it's noisy. So a couple of things we're going to go over in this video. First, since I built this greenhouse, this geothermal greenhouse last fall, I haven't really done I haven't really set up the fan or set up anything in here over the winter. And so I'm going to be setting up the fan, building a little stand for that in this video. By the way, if you want to see how I built this greenhouse, especially the underground piping that uses the ground heat to heat the greenhouse during the winter, if you go to my YouTube channel, Emergency Prep Guy, and search greenhouse, or you can go to emergencyprepguy.com on the website and search greenhouse. Both places, the article and video will pull up that has the video on it that will show you that whole process. I did a complete build video and a complete article explaining the whole process on building this greenhouse. So that's one thing we're going to do in this video. The other thing, you can see I've got some lumber in here. I'm going to be building some raised beds. If you might notice, there's some grass growing in here, so that's the first thing I'm going to do is kind of clean up the ground before I build the beds in here. Now, the types of raised beds I'm going to be building are the Mittleider Gardening book style raised beds. So I'm going to have two 15 foot beds in here, 18 inches wide. And on this back bed, I'm going to have the traditional Mittleider T-frames so that I can grow vegetables on this back bed vertically. The only difference will be my T-frames. I don't have room for the traditional 7 foot high. I'll only have them 6 foot high, but it'll still allow me enough room to, I'll be able to grow vertically in here. And then in later videos, I'm going to be doing 4 30 foot Mittleider 18-inch wide raised beds for the garden outside, and a couple of those will have the T-frames on it as well. So stay tuned for those videos. And as we go through not only this video but future videos, if you want to learn more about the Mittleider gardening method, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it here in a second. I'll put a link below this video to where you can get that book. That's a super important book, I think, for anybody that's a prepper to get and to learn. So now I have a friend, he's known as ldsprepper.com. He lives near me, and he's been doing the Mittleider gardening method for 8 or 9 years, or a little longer maybe. And before that, his wife was the gardener in the family. It was kind of her thing. He had never really gardened, but he's a prepper, and he started learning about this Mittleider gardening method. His wife, she'd gardened for 30 years. She'd even written books on gardening. She was certified in a bunch of different kinds of organic gardening. And so when they started looking into the Mittleider gardening method, they did a side-by-side comparison. On half the yard, she did her traditional method, and on the other half of the yard, David, with him not having ever gardened before, he just followed the Mittleider book, and he did the Mittleider gardening book on the other half of the yard. And when the season was over, based on actual volume of food produced, the Mittleider gardening method outproduced the traditional organic method 6-1. So they were super excited about it, and they've switched all their gardens over, and that's all they use now is the Mittleider gardening method. So I've kind of seen what they've gone through in that process, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about trying it out myself. So in this video, like I said, you're going to see me set up those beds here. And then in future videos, I'll set up, you'll see me setting up the beds in the garden, and then all summer long we'll show videos on how the garden is progressing and how things are how it's producing. So I'm excited about that. Okay, with that, let's get right into this video. I will stop throughout the video and talk and explain things as we progress through this whole process. Okay, the lighting's kind of weird in here, but it's kind of late in the day, sun's setting. But hopefully you can see. I'm just kind of working on this as I have time. I've got the two 15-foot, 18-inch wide beds built. Tomorrow I'll work on leveling them and digging the post holes for the T-frames on this side and getting the stakes in. So we'll come back when we get a little bit more done. Okay, I just want to show you really quick how I'm building these T-frames. According to the Mittleider Gardening book, these main posts here in the T structures are supposed to be 8 foot long, and then you bury them 15 inches deep. I'm burying mine 16 inches deep. I've got some extra room because my space is limited here, so I thought I'd bury it a little deeper. That cross beam there, this right here, is 32 inches long. To secure the top T to the main post, I've using 7-inch nails there. Already got the holes all dug. I've just got to make sure they're the proper depth. See if I can show you here. Yeah, the upper line there, that's 16 inches from here to there. That's how far I'm burying them in the ground, is 16 inches, and that line I'm lining up with the bottom of the edge of the raised bed. And that's how I'm going to make sure they're all level. I've got the raised bed, it's all level, and I've put stakes in every 30 inches and screwed them to the thing and made sure that the whole thing was 18 inches wide. So that's all good and solid. Now I've just got to put the T-frames in. And if you can see here at the end, that's where I'm nailing put 3 nails. I don't know if I needed 3, but anyway, I put 3 of these 7-inch nails in there. The only other thing I've got to do for this T-frame is I've got to put a little brace across here, as per the Mittleider gardening book. And then once all of these T-frames are placed in all the holes and all the dirt's filled in and tamped solid around them, then there's going to be 2x4s go around each of these. I'll show you that when we get to that point, but we'll come back as we get more done. Okay, as you can see, this back bed is completely finished. The 18-inch by 15-foot box, I got it all leveled this way and leveled side to side. And I got stakes pounded in the ground, 18-inch stakes pounded in so they're level with the top of the board, which is important. And then I got them screwed to the box to hold it level and stable. And then I dug 3 holes and I built these T-post structures. So these are about 6 foot tall, which is including this top post here, 6 foot to there. So, and they're buried 16 inches down instead of 15, and tamped in real solid, you know, in the braces. And anyway, it's all built according to the Mittleider plan, other than the height, and I'm super excited. My greenhouse is a mess now though, so now I got to clean this side out and get this box. If the box is built, I just haven't leveled it yet, and I haven't put the stakes in, and then it'll be done as soon as I do that. So we'll come back as we get a little bit more done. Okay, I just want to show you how I got this thing set up. Here's a piece of plywood that I've cut to fit the top of that, just so that I can use it as a table. And that's real dangerous to have a fan open like that. So I'll probably put I'm gonna get a hardware cloth screen mesh lid that I'll bend around and make for that, so animals can't get down in there. And then I'll have that plywood bolted on top so that I can use it for a table and whatever. There's enough space in between here and here, about 1.5 inches, so there'll be plenty of ability for air to flow around, and then the air will come in the open sides and up in there. I mounted the fan. I just put a piece of lumber across this. I think it's a 2x8 or 2x10 scrap I had, and I just bolted the fan onto that. And then down here I cut this this corrugated pipe that goes into the ground. I cut it at about 10 inches long, and then here is a reducer, because the fan, the air exit of the fan is 6 inches in diameter, and the pipe is at 4 inches. So this is a reducer that reduces from 6 inches to 4 inches. So I just got to wrap that around there with duct tape to seal this, and to seal up here, so that there's no air leak there really, or at least not a significant one. And so I'm going to leave these sides open, at least for now. I may eventually close them when I get more scraps of plywood from other projects. I'm not sure yet. But that's how it all came together. I decided to cut this pipe here a little longer than I had planned, which put this fan up a little higher than I thought, which is why I added, if I can back up where you can see it, I added this extra row of 2x4s there. just to raise the top, so there was at least 1.5 inch air gap in between the top of the fan and the top of this frame. So we'll come back as we get a little bit more done. So now I have this fan, if you can see down here, I have it set on its lowest setting. That's high, and the one that it's on is low. And then I have this, I don't know what you call this, speed controller. And so I have it on its lowest setting down there, and then I have this on medium or half. So it gives me the ability to put this at half its lowest setting. The idea being that if the air is moving through there slow, it'll have more time to warm up. I will put a link below this video as to where I got this speed controller and also which fan that I'm using here. These come in 2 different sizes, maybe even 3 different sizes, I don't remember right at the moment. 6 inch and an 8 inch diameter. Depending on how big your greenhouse is will determine how big of one of these that you want. But I'll link to both sizes below this video, as well as to that. Okay, well, all of the work that I plan to show in this video for the inside of this greenhouse is done. So I'm going to spin the camera around and give you a quick tour. So as you can see, I've got both of the 15-foot raised beds done. In a future video, I'll show you how to mix the Mittleider, the soil, the Mittleider garden book way, and I'll fill those with soil. I've got the T-structures all done. You saw earlier in the video also that I've got this fan done with its controller there. Keep it on low. I built it this way so that it could be a table. And then the last thing I have is this exit pipe where the air comes out of the ground from being blown in the ground with that fan, and it'll blow into the greenhouse. I'm not sure I want it this tall. I figured it was easier to shorten it than to lengthen it, even though you could lengthen it. So I cut it a little higher than I think I might want. I might lower it down slightly, but anyway, we'll see how it works first. I am going to get a thermostat that I can stick in here to measure the temperature of the air. I'm going to get the kind that will connect to my phone and read to my phone. And I do have this thermostat in here right now, but I have to come out here to see the temperature. So I'm going to get another thermostat for out here that will also go to my phone. So that's where we're at for this video. For future videos, like I said, I'll show you how to mix the soil for these beds. I'm also going to be building an automated watering system, the Mittleider Garden Way. I may, since I don't have water run out to this building, I may, just for this greenhouse, design a watering system with a water tank. I'm not sure if I have room in here for that, but it would be nice to have water that didn't freeze, that could be gravity fed when I'm growing things here in the winter. So I don't have that totally planned out yet, but when I figure that out, which won't be very long, that'll be shown in a future video. And then out here, this is going to be a 25 by 37 foot garden. There's going to be 4, all this stuff will be cleaned out first, obviously. There'll be 4 30-foot garden beds, and all that will be in a future video as well. 4 30-foot Mittleider garden beds, raised beds just like these. These are 15-foot, but the ones out here will be 30-foot. And I'm not sure if one or at least one of them are going to have the T-structures. I'm not sure if I'm going to do 2 of them or not. But anyway, that'll be in future videos. So I hope that was interesting. I appreciate you watching the video all the way to the end. Be sure to check below the links. I put links to all the parts that you might want to know where to get, I put links to where you can get those below the video. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you in the next video.